Hey, I am so excited to be back with this clarity around framework. And I think a lot of you can relate to the fact that modern life is amazing with all of its conveniences, but the fact that movement has become separate from life is, I think, where a lot of us are maybe not doing as much as we'd like. And I would like to argue that instead of only having a designated industry for movement outside of life, something that you do in addition to, something you go to, something you sign into, something you participate in outside of your life, it's a separate activity. I would really love for all of us to be able to feel good in our bodies at all times. So the core framework has stayed the same. I have used my architecture brain to really map out the overarching concepts of minimal foundational fitness. And so right now, this is sort of the 1.0 version where we are going to dive in and just get moving in our bodies again. And it's going to look really simple. Here's my ask of you. Every month, I'm going to go over different topics, areas of your body, strategies for how to be in your body again. And I promise you they'll be quick. I promise you that you will find a way, if you want, to integrate this in with your life. And I also promise you that it's so flexible. I know in the winter, a lot of us are just going to move a lot less than we do in the summer. It's harder to get out. You don't want to. You're listening to yourself. That's how things go. If you're in spring, it's kind of that great energy, like I'm ready to go again, almost this impatience. And let's celebrate that. So looking at each of the seasons, if you're willing to stick through, I'm going to send out weekly podcast and or email blast or both, depending on what you enjoy, whatever format fits your life better. We're going to do a single flow each week. And I want this to be a combination of sort of a personal training background and a yoga background. So it's called a flow, but really I'm going to give you an 8-count series of exercises that flow together, hence the name. But it's not a yoga flow. It's a functional movement flow with a wide inspiration of movement styles that you can do anywhere in your normal clothes without any special equipment. And I would challenge you to try to do it whenever you're feeling bored, whenever you have a bathroom break, a water break, you're waiting for something to cook, you're waiting for something to brew. Go ahead and just do one or more of these flows very slowly at first. The more important thing is that you start to notice how your body responds to each of these moves and the transitions between the moves, because these aren't linear things, right? Again, the flow concept, that you're going from one to another. And so you memorize this flow for the week, and the next week move to the next one, a new one. And every week I'll also give you techniques. For example, we're going to get a lot into non-exercise activity thermogenesis. What this actually means in plain English, it's called NEAT, is all the things we do in our life that can actually count as movement, cardio, and everything else. We're already doing it. Parking further away, and when you are at a store, when you're doing your laundry, pulling out one or two pieces at a time so you're walking back and forth more. Really taking that effort to go up the stairs, to use a bathroom on a different floor if you're at your office. I know a lot of people walk and commute and bike to work, but a lot of us don't. So how can we, in our day-to-day, I will give you, again, reasonable things to do when you're out in public to make you feel good in your body. And we'll get one of those every week, so sort of try that out. And every month is going to be, again, focused on a different part of your body. So these flows should be comprehensive, but they will tend to focus more on certain areas of your body than others. So we'll get through the whole system at the end of the year. And then the last thing I'm going to propose is a guided, what I'm calling an exploration. So this guided exploration, there will be no video. I really want you to just pay attention to yourself during this. That's why there's no video. I don't want it to be distracting. If I'm teaching you how to give yourself a facial massage and tugging on your ears and kind of exploring your scalp and giving yourself a scalp massage, I genuinely want you to just explore what sounds too good to you with minimal prompts. So the idea is you're moving, you are balancing, like standing on one foot while doing your dishes could be one example of the sort of tools that I'll share. So we've got the flows and the tools. We've got the exploration, which you can use whenever you want. Maybe that's your kind of wind down thing at the end of the night. Again, super quick, just push play. And I mean, it's going to be a year, but it feels very manageable for our lives. I know a lot of people don't realize that even if you go running in the morning and then you go to work and sit all day, you're technically sedentary. You weren't moving all day, and that's what really counts. So congratulations on the run, but during the day, you didn't take care of yourself necessarily. And so I'm hoping that this flow, these tips, these tricks, all of these tools will help everybody, even people who are seasoned movers and athletes. And so I'm so excited to share with you the revamped flows, the revamped seasonal everything. Right now, we're going to be mostly focused on movement and tips and tricks around our bodies themselves, because it's all woven in all throughout the year. So for 1.0, let's get the foundations of our body going, and I cannot wait to see you next month. Check out our intro flow on the website or in the email blast, and we'll see you soon.